Hello and a very warm welcome. You're watching Times Now with me, Priya Behel, and over the course of next 20 minutes, we will focus on the story coming in from Jammu and Kashmir, where in the election-bound state, the gloves are totally off. Days after National Conference Vice President and former Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Omar Abdullah reminded everyone that he was in the Justice for Afzal Guru Brigade. Today, Rajnath Singh asked former J&K CM that if executing a terror attack accused was futile, and then what would have been an appropriate conduct? Garlanding him?
See, my unfortunate thing was that the J&K government had nothing to do with Afzal Guru's execution. Otherwise, you would have had to do it with the permission of the state government, which I can tell you in no uncertain terms would not have been forthcoming.
Why?
It wouldn't have. We wouldn't have done it. I don't believe that any purpose was served by executing him. I don't.
अभी मैंने सुना कि नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस के लीडर उमर अब्दुल्ला साहब ने क्या कहा है? कहा है अफजाल गुरु को फांसी नहीं होनी चाहिए थी। मैं पूछना चाहता हूं उमर अब्दुल्ला साहब से कि अफजाल गुरु को यदि फांसी नहीं होनी चाहिए थी, क्या उन्हें सार्वजनिक रूप से माला पहनाया जाना चाहिए? क्या किया जाना चाहिए? इस सवाल का मैं आपसे जवाब चाहता हूं।
And it doesn't seem like it was an off-the-cuff remark that was made in the heat of the moment. It seems like a deliberate ploy of the National Conference to strike an extremist pitch, perhaps to shore up its numbers in a poll battle that it knows will not be easy, with BJP decided on posing a strong challenge. Upping their offensive, today it was the turn of NC patron Farooq Abdullah to not only question BJP's Bharat, but also he went on to accuse the BJP of trying to sell Ram for votes.
इनको डर ही तो नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस का है, इनका किसी और का डर तो है नहीं। इसीलिए हर तरह से कोशिश करेंगे कि नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस को जिस तरह से भी ये बदनाम कर सके करेंगे। वो तो बहुत कुछ कहते हैं। मैं तो उनसे ये कहना चाहता हूँ, जिस भारत को बनाना चाहते हैं हम उस भारत के खिलाफ हैं। भारत जो है वो सबका है, हिंदू का, मुसलमान का, सिख का, ईसाई का, बौद्ध का, जितने भी यहाँ रहने वाले हैं वो यहाँ के हैं। हम घुसपैठिया नहीं हैं, हम मंगलसूत्र नहीं लेने वाले हैं। वो सिर्फ हिंदुओं को डराने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। वो ये समझते हैं कि हिंदू उनका वोट देगा। पहले तो इन्होंने राम को बेचने की कोशिश की, अब ये डराने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। और कहते हैं कि अगर नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस कांग्रेस आई तो यहाँ पे फिर से वही आतंकवाद शुरू होगा।
मिलिटेंसी के खिलाफ अगर किसी एक तंजीम ने कुर्बानियां दी हैं, वो जम्मू कश्मीर नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस ने दी है। मुझे अफसोस होता है जब वज़ीर आज़म साहब, वज़ीर दाखिला साहब इस तरह की बातें करते हैं। हकीकत को इस तरह से मतलब तोड़ मरोड़ के पेश करना, ये गलत बात है ना।
Understandably, the BJP is outraged and has accused the Abdullahs of indulging in appeasement just for the sake of votes and for putting family before the country.
फारूक अब्दुल्ला राम को बेचने की बात करते हैं। पूरा का पूरा इंडी अलायंस, राहुल गांधी फारूक अब्दुल्ला का जो अलायंस है वैली के अंदर, वो एंटी राम अलायंस है, एंटी हिंदू अलायंस है और एंटी भारत अलायंस है। जम्मू कश्मीर डेवलपमेंट की राह पे है और इससे बात जम्मू कश्मीर की नहीं है। ये पूरे इंडी अलायंस में सिर्फ और सिर्फ कॉमन बात अगर कुछ होती है तो वो होता है सनातन के खिलाफ बोलना।
उमर अब्दुल्ला जी अब आतंकवाद पे बोलेंगे। अभी उमर अब्दुल्ला जी अफजल गुरु की वकालत कर रहे थे, पैरवी कर रहे थे कि फांसी नहीं देनी चाहिए थी। जिनकी पूरी वोट बैंक की राजनीति, राष्ट्र नीति पर हावी होती है, जो फैमिली फर्स्ट करते हैं और नेशन फर्स्ट को भूल जाते हैं, वो अब आतंकवाद पर ज्ञान पढ़ाएंगे। तो उमर अब्दुल्ला जी 370 हटने के बाद जिस प्रकार से आतंकवाद की घटनाओं में 45% से ज्यादा की गिरावट हुई है, सिविलियन कैजुअलिटीज में गिरावट हुई है, सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस की कैजुअलिटीज में गिरावट हुई है और टेरर हॉटस्पॉट जो माना जाता था जम्मू कश्मीर को, आज वो टूरिज्म हॉटस्पॉट बना है।
There are several questions that these statements give rise to. Is there an attempt to make a terrorist a martyr? What is the real purpose of this extremist pitch? And can the Congress endorse these statements being made by its ally in Jammu and Kashmir? To answer those questions, we are now joined by our esteemed guests. We have on the broadcast with us Shazia Ilmi of the BJP. We have Dr. Nikul Patel of the Congress and Advocate Ahmed Ayaz, political analyst. But my first question has to be to Mr. Ahmed Ayaz. And I know it is the third day since Omar Abdullah said that, but it's very difficult to believe that somebody who believes in democracy, in peace and progress of Jammu and Kashmir would say that there was no purpose served by hanging, by going through the judicial process and by executing a terrorist.
You are right if we say that the Omar Abdullah must have done it to see that he gains something out of it because of there's an election going on in Jammu and Kashmir, and I think he must be knowing it that this is not possible just because he has been the chief minister at that time when Afzal Guru was executed, and even if he must not have any role to play that time, because internal administrative, we don't know what is the mechanism, but the people for certain know it, that it was Omar Abdullah who was the chief minister. It would not have been done without his consent. So that way to say that he is trying to gain, he may not gain. Second, to say that he is trying to support the militancy, that also is not there, because National Conference has also suffered, and they have become a victim of it. Many of their leaders have been killed.
But Mr. Ayaz, isn't it more ironic than that a party that today once again comes out and claims that it was in fact the National Conference that fought against militancy, which again is a very dubious claim, and we'll get Shazia Ilmi in on that. But then they go on to say that Afzal Guru should not have been hanged. Rajnath Singh is rightly asking what else is an appropriate behavior for a terror attack accused? Should he be garlanded publicly? Is that what Omar Abdullah is saying? Is that the constituency whose votes NC today wants? The constituency who would have garlanded Afzal Guru for killing 9 people?
It could be perhaps that Omar Abdullah must not have liked the execution just as a capital punishment, not only for Afzal Guru. As I see that, though there is no clarity as to what he meant.
No, sir.
But it looks that
he said that in no uncertain terms, I can assure you that the permission for hanging would not have been forthcoming. There is no doubt in his mind. He is not mincing his words.
Maybe because of the capital punishment. Maybe because of the capital punishment, or he must have seen some merit in not executing, that he must be knowing. But as it looks that it must be just because capital punishment, as we see that he must not be in favor of the capital punishment. That's why he must have said that it would not have been given the permission, even if asked for, would not have been given. Maybe because of the capital punishment.
Okay.
This is what
Shazia Ilmi, it's not a matter of sympathy or being terror apologist. It is about the larger principalistic point that Omar Abdullah suddenly has realized that he needs to make once again right when elections are taking place in Jammu and Kashmir, that capital punishment is not acceptable. It serves no purpose. It's not about Afzal Guru.
First of all, I totally and wholly condemn the feeble explanation or clarification that is being given by the previous speaker, that it was about capital punishment and whatnot. I don't believe it. I think it was done very deliberately. And nobody would believe that Omar Abdullah is indeed is doubtful in any way. It was done deliberately because we have an Omar Abdullah who's completely beleaguered. He has undergone a huge defeat. He's fighting from 2 constituencies. He's playing the Muslim card. He has brought in Afzal Guru's name deliberately. Now the question is, years after Afzal Guru is hanged and executed, we hear from the streets of Delhi and in JNU, known to be one of the most prestigious institutions of India, Afzal hum sharminda hain, tere qatil zinda hain. Bharat tere tukde tak, jang chalegi. Bharat tere tukde honge, inshallah, inshallah. Let me start by saying that I totally and wholly condemn this. I speak for all the Muslims of this country, that no Muslim in this country would wish this upon India. So if Omar Abdullah is equating those Muslims who would wish this, or he is totally wrong. He is playing this deliberate, communal, absolutely inflammatory card only to incite passions and in a desperate bid to make headway in his elections, because he's been rejected not once but time and time again. Now, there's another point I want to make. What does Congress make of it? How do we accept this? With what face will Congress go around asking for votes? Forget Kashmir or the Valley and Jammu. In Maharashtra and Haryana, what does Congress party believe in? Do you know that this is the first time that we have the franchise and the whole, dance of democracy being played out in Jammu and Kashmir under the Indian constitution and not the special constitution of Jammu and Kashmir? For the first time, right, and only one flag, which is the Indian flag, people are voting. And at this point of time, it is a new Naya Daur, a Naya Kashmir. And we're seeing, traces of normalcy coming back. Seeing a 70% reduction.
Omar Abdullah
in,
doesn't believe in that,
terrorist
and we'll come back to that, Shazia. Omar Abdullah is actually saying that militancy and terrorism has actually gone up. It had come down during NC regime, but has gone back up now. We'll come back to that, but let me bring in Mr. Nikul Patel on this. We know what Congress leaders have said, from Shashi Tharoor to Manishankar Iyer to P. Chidambaram. All of them had earlier said that Afzal Guru should not have been hanged. But now, given the new realities of politics, Nikul Patel, does Congress still go by with what their ally in Jammu and Kashmir is saying?
See, when it comes to Congress, Congress had never compromised on terrorism. And we have seen how it had ruled for last long. Now, when it comes to Jammu and Kashmir election, I think Bharatiya Janata Party is forced by the Supreme Court to conduct the election, and that is why we are now a statehood of Jammu and Kashmir. Now, Bharatiya Janata Party wants to build the perception that they are pro-Hindu, and a statement from Omar Abdullah. If you see the purpose, what is the purpose of that thing was that to end the terrorism, right? Now, the prorogation of Article 370 means there should be no further terrorism. Notebandi was that there should be no Bhrashtachar.
Afzal Guru.
Let me finish.
And hanging.
Let me finish. I want to put some logic behind it. Bharatiya Janata Party said removing 370 will end terrorism in Valley. They said that removing Notebandi will remove Bhrashtachar, terrorism. Is that happened? The purpose was not sought. The only thing is that if you want to bring, and everyone has contributed to the nation, Jammu Kashmir people have contributed to fight against terrorism. Is the people of Jammu Kashmir had not lost their life fighting terrorism? I don't think so. Everyone in the nation who is the integral part of the country would always try to feel that they want to remove all these things. And if it is not happening, then it is the only one is not responsible. At present, if you see, Bharatiya Janata Party is also responsible for not maintaining law and order into a valley where you have a precedent rule.
Sir, Parliament attack,
so I think
convict being executed.
And just blaming Omar Abdullah, I think Bharatiya Janata Party wants to play
9 people killed in 2001 terror attack.
Appeasement politics of majority.
Being hanged, is it right or not?
I would like to question again. What you are asking?
Sir, I'm still asking the first question that I asked and that you have not answered. Congress, as an ally of Omar Abdullah's party, who says that hanging of Afzal Guru was futile, what does Congress say about it now?
See, hanging him was a part of the punishment that was given by the court of law, and everyone believe in constitution. Definitely, Congress believe in it, whatever is rule, right? And that is what I am saying. We believe in constitution. We are not against anything. We are not against.
So when Omar Abdullah says it wasn't right, do you think that he is standing with separatist elements, with extremist elements, by sympathizing with Afzal Guru and almost acting like he is a part of Justice for Afzal Guru Brigade?
See,
yes or no?
I don't understand your perspective, what you want to convey or what you want to say by asking.
I have no perspective. I am going by your perspective. I believe that Congress is a nationalistic party that would not allow anybody attack the symbol of Indian democracy, and anybody who has attacked the Indian symbol of Indian democracy not get away with anything less than the harshest of punishment. So my question to you
is what I have already said.
Should Afzal Guru have been hanged or garlanded?
See, that already I have said that Congress is a party which always believes in the national integration of the country, and we have never support terrorism, whether it is an Afzal Guru.
So then will you snap your ties with Omar Abdullah and his party? Will you support him when he comes out in sympathizing with Afzal Guru?
See, right now, the basic objective of Jammu Kashmir election is to bring statehood back to the people of the country. We are not playing vote bank politics like Bharatiya Janata Party. We know how 2024 Lok Sabha election went on.
No.
People have
Wait,
given the
I'm
verdict.
sorry, that's a lot of bunkum.
Shazia, we'll come to specifics. Wait, when you say there was something wrong with 2024 Lok Sabha elections in Jammu and Kashmir, specify it. We'll get answers from the BJP. Specify what is the problem. 1, 2, 3. How was what happened during elections, which saw massive record-breaking turnout by the people, highest ever number of people voting, by the way? What was wrong with it? What is your insinuation? Nikul Patel.
Yeah, I think you asked Tazia a question. So,
No.
See,
I want an answer to your question from her, but I want you to specify your question. What was wrong?
where? In the elections?
Yes, you said that there was something wrong and it will not allow that to happen again in 2024 elections in Jammu and Kashmir?
Nothing wrong. I say that Bharatiya Janata Party was campaigning on the base of Hindutva, Hindu-Muslim, Article 370, Ram Mandir, but people have given the verdict that see what is your way of thinking in the country. They have given the vote to, we can say that education, they have given vote to health, they have given to the basic rights, basic needs of the people of the country. And today also we say that we are fighting for statehood of Jammu and Kashmir. Ladakh people are also fighting for the statehood. I don't understand why they are not putting that into, they are doing in their own way. That is what the difference between a Congress and Bharatiya
sir, if
Janata
people
Party.
were voting for all these things and then they still decided to ensure that Omar Abdullah and Mehbooba Mufti do not win their respective Lok Sabha elections, says more about their prospects and poll pitch than I do. But Shazia Ilmi, Omar Abdullah has been making this point that BJP has a secret deal with people behind bars, with independents and even with some terrorists because they want to defeat him. Is that true or not?
So first things first, and this is very important. I just heard a absolute crazy lie being spouted by the spokesperson of the Congress party. Did we not hear when Article 370 was abrogated and 35A? What happened? What did Amit Shah say in the parliament, and not once, not many times over, that for now it is a UTI and it will be a state? So when it's already been promised, who are you to promise it again? And secondly, and more importantly, even a basic student of the Constitution would know that a state government can't give or take away statehood. That would only be Modi government, and that's already been promised. So you don't even know what you're promising. You're promising something that is already there. So people don't know what you're promising.
No, but
yes,
their point is they are being
pelting. Yes, you're promising all the prisoners, freedom. Yes, you're promising all of that. But you're not promising statehood because it's already there in place. And we've heard it 1,000 times, and it's been said in the parliament. So don't fool people. Some of us are very well read, and everybody in Jammu and Kashmir in India knows what Amit Shah said. The word is there, completely printed. So please don't make up stories.
No, but Shazia, the allegation is that Omar Abdullah is saying that people who are in jails are specifically contesting against him. He might be making whatever promises he's making. He cited Awami Ittihad Party's Sheikh Abdul Rashid, who defeated him in Lok Sabha polls, by the way, and separatist leader Sarjan Ahmad Wage, who's also pitted against him in the upcoming assembly elections. Does BJP have a deal with independents? Because I think Amit Shah also said this, that apart from the regional parties, Parivarwadi dynastic parties, we've kept our doors pretty much open. We'll see what to do to make a government.
I think Omar Abdullah is really traumatized. You know, it's some kind of a PTSD that he's going through after the crazy defeat that he suffered at the hands of engineer Rashid, and which is why he's contesting now from 2 constituencies. First,
is that true, Ahmed Ayaz? Because Farooq Abdullah also has been making some pretty provocative statements. So is it out of desperation that the Abdullahs have now decided that offensive is going to be their only defense, their only chance at some sort of victory in the upcoming elections? He said BJP is trying to sell Ram. And because they failed to do so, now they are fear-mongering.
So far as this part is concerned, that something is happening in the jails, which will ultimately mean, losing of Omar Abdullah. You see, in politics like this, nothing can be said with certainty as to what's happening there. It could be, it may not be, because we remember when Mufti Saeed as a PDP contested against in the elections last time and appealed for votes against the Mission 44 of BJP. And that means that he was never to make any alliance with the BJP, but ultimately he made a government with the BJP itself. So nothing is certain. It could be anything happening in the jail. It could be possible also. It may not be possible. So, since we are not, it's not visible as what's happening. We could make an assessment or we could make some analysis. So it may be happening. It may not be happening. I don't know how Omar Abdullah says it, what sources he has, what information he has. But to say that it cannot be there, that also cannot be said with certainty. To say that it is there, it cannot not also be said with certainty, because it's something happening in the jail. But as it looks, something like that can be said to be happening. Why? Because the engineer Rashid, contesting from the jail and then making contacts with the people over the phone or whatever videos, etc.
So one thing is for sure and one thing was certain, that Omar Abdullah was defeated. And one thing is also certain, that anybody who attacks India's sovereignty, who attacks the Indian Parliament, deserves nothing short of capital punishment. That should be clear to the voters of Jammu and Kashmir, and they should give the exact and real answer to those who are raising questions around the treatment meted out to Afzal Guru. Thank you, gentlemen, and Shazia Almi for joining me. We take a very quick break.